Welcome back to our channel, guys. I'm Stephanie. Steph is actually in the other room in a meeting, so she will join us a little bit later. But today, before we get into any fun things, we're gonna go ahead and subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell notification button so that way you guys are always in tune when we're dropping another fire video. Alright guys, so today we are making empanadas. If you guys don't know, I am Venezuelan, so my mom taught me how to make empanadas when I was a little kid, so I'm going to show you guys how I make them, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it and try it out yourself. If you do try out my empanadas, please leave a comment below. So let's get started. So I've already washed my hands, and I'm going to show you guys my materials so far. So I have the Goya discs. If you have made empanadas before and you enjoy another disc, I would go ahead and use those. But these are the discs that I use. This is just frozen dough that we use to fry the cheese with inside. I use this cheese. So this is my favorite kind of cheese to use for the empanada. So like I said, I already have my hands washed. And then also, I have my frying pan. I haven't started anything, so I have my frying pan. I also have this doohickey because I like to put them fully in, so that way I don't have to flip them as much, but it's up to you however you'd like to do it. And then I use avocado oil to fry them. Alright guys, so like I said, I have the cheese, I have the disc, I have two types of knives. This is a cheese knife, and then this is just a regular small knife. I'm going to go ahead and open these up, and then as well as open up my cheese, and I'll show you guys exactly how I lay everything out so it's a smooth process. Also, over here I have lined a plate with some paper towels, so that way when I transfer everything over from here to here, it's pretty easy and I don't get oil everywhere and the oil drips into the paper towels. So that's the other easy way to do that as well. Alright guys, so like I said, I have my cheese here, I have my discs here, and this is a plate that I like to put everything on as I'm working, so that way it's not touching anything and everything stays very sterile. I'm a huge germaphobe when it comes down to cooking. So I already have rinsed my cheese. I like to rinse any cheese that I use, doesn't matter what cheese, mostly because it's been sitting in its own juices, and there could be a lot of salt, there could be a lot of things on it per se for me, so I like to rinse my cheese off before I use it. And then my discs are right here. They're pretty thawed. Make sure that they're thawed in about room temperature, I would say, maybe a little bit cooler than that, so that way it's easy to work with and mold. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly how I make mine, and then I'm just going to fast forward through everything else. But I take my disc and I put it here on my plate that you see here. I like to have water running as well and have a little bit of water on my hands, so that way I don't stick to anything, and I like to put a little bit of water here so my cheese doesn't stick when I move it or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my cheese. And depending on how big your discs are, you can kind of see how much cheese you need. But I usually start off with about a block, well not a block, but a slice like this. And I go ahead and take it in my hands. I like to break it apart like so, and I like to crumble it into my disc area over here. Let me move it over a little bit more so you guys can see. Perfect. So I like to break it up and put it in the disc area. Make sure to center it as much as you can, so that way all your cheese gets nice and fried at the same time, and you're not seeing it in different areas and then it falls out and causes you issues later. So I do see that we have a good size amount. I like to put about a good 2 spoonfuls, I would say like large spoonfuls of cheese, but depending on how you like to put your cheese in there and how much cheese you'd like. Honestly, this is a lot of kind of playing with your preference, but this is how I like to do them myself, and this is how I find best for the whole situation of being able to fry them well enough. So now we're going to take whatever side you have made easy enough to access with your hand. So I like to put everything in the middle, so that way I can choose from which side, but this side always works best for me. My left side to my right side. So I'm going to go ahead and push everything forward like so. So again, I'm going to push everything towards the area that I'm folding over, and I'm going to go ahead and fold everything over. Now you're going to see that your cheese is going to slightly kind of fall out towards the area that you're folding towards, and that's okay. You're just going to go ahead and push everything in, and you're going to want to tuck everything in as much as you can. So this comes the fun part. This is my favorite part. So this is what you should be looking like so far. So you want to make sure that you press down on the edges that you folded and you've contacted your left side with your right side, or however. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and compacted. So now what you're going to do, you want to go ahead and take a fork, and you want to go ahead and press the fork on the ends that you've connected. I like using about half the fork. Now, if you do end up ripping or anything like that while you're doing that, these are very moldable, so you can just squish them together and that's how they can stay. I also like to make 2 nice little punctures. This is also how I differentiate if it's cheese or meat or whatever, just so that I can keep track, but I also like to keep everything separate. So I like to put little holes in here so that the inside can breathe and all of our cheese actually gets evenly melted and evenly fried. So just to get some air in. And I fluff them up like so. Put a little bit more on this side. I don't want to have any issues. Make sure that your ends, this is where you're going to start seeing your more so pockets of air, if anything, when you start frying. You want to make sure that it sits like so. So this should be your end result, your empanada ready to be fried. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start frying. I actually ended up not using my little frying object because I don't want to use that much oil, to be honest with you, because I'm only going to be making a few and I don't want to waste oil. So I'm going to go ahead and make this one and I'll show you guys how they start coming out. I like putting 2 at a time so that way I can kind of keep an eye on each one and see how they're going. So you don't want to let them be in there for too long, especially if your oil is nice and hot. I like to flip them. You want them to be a nice golden color. So see, this one is starting to get there. We want to make sure that it's all golden, this color, all the way around. It's starting to smell like straight heaven in my house right now. Now that's the golden color that we want. See how this one still has a little bit of white? This is the nice golden color that we want. So we want to keep it like this because once they start drying, they get a little bit more goldeny outside. I'm gonna flip this one back. Oh, see, that's a perfect golden color. So now we know we only have to keep them for a little bit of time and then we can start flipping because our oil is at that good temperature. At this point, guys, if you notice these start to separate a little bit, it means that you didn't push down enough with your fork, and that's okay. It won't separate more than that, and if it does, it will just have a bubble here, and that's okay too. So just be wary of that. Just make sure that you're doing full push downs with your fork, so that way you don't have this issue.
What's up, squad? It's me. I know Stephanie already did her intro. They're making the empanadas. I can't wait to try them.
They're ready.
They're ready? Ooh. What do you guys think? You think they're gonna be delicious? I know they're gonna be delicious. Comment down below if you think they're delicious. They look great.
Would you like me to pass you one so you can try it?
Yep. I'm gonna take one myself.
Okay, the one furthest one to the back.
First one to the back? What?
Yeah, that's the one that's less hot right now.
Oh no, I want the hot one.
Okay, let's...
Oh. You see the cheese? Cream and top.
Good.
Very tasty. Tearing this up.
That's Steph's favorite breakfast.
Ooh.
Gonna do a happy dance.
Dogs are outside. It's a pretty day. It's been ugly all week. The storm's coming. Hopefully not too bad. Thing is, while living in Florida, hurricane.
Hurricanes are a thing here.
All right, I'm gonna go eat another empanada.